Putting. Great tip in putting is that you make sure that your rhythm is good. I always try to get people to almost like a tick-tock. I try to get them to do a 1-2 motion. Take the putter back in 1, follow through in 2. The biggest thing when putting is to make sure you hit the putt solid. If you hit the putt solid, you're going to be able to do a lot. Chipping, as we come back out, chipping, I think one of the easiest things with chipping is it's basically the same thing. You go from putting, which is a pendulum motion, you go to chipping, it just gets a little bit longer. I try to get people to, again, be very consistent with their rhythm, to swing the club the same speed, take the club back the same distance they brought it forward. And in that perspective, they can hit the ball any distance they want. The slower the speed, the less distance they hit, the faster the speed of the pendulum and the motion, the farther they're going to hit it and the more they're going to hit it. With hitting the golf ball, I think probably there's several things. The most important thing is grip, stance, and alignment. Proper grip is probably the most important thing we can teach anybody. If you take somebody and they have you can almost tell somebody who's grown up playing a game of golf, they put their hands on the club and it's like they were born there. The majority of the people that we see, their grips are all over the place. So the grip, a lot of times you don't like to start there, but when the grip's really bad, that's where I start. I try to get the grip to where that's good. Stance is another really important thing from the standpoint of being able to get the feet proper. With an iron, you want about shoulders width apart. With a driver, you want about a little bit outside of that so you can make your swing. You don't want the stance too wide. In hitting the golf ball, the stance can be narrower, but it can't be wider. The narrower it is, the more your legs are going to be able to work. So I try to get people to get out from having a wide stance. Alignment is very important also because, as we talked about before, golf is a target game. You hit the ball from here, you're aiming at a target and you're trying to hit to a target. And you've got to be aligned properly, which is the target. Your golf ball's got to be aimed at the target. Your body is slightly left of that target, but parallel. I've always used the acronym of like a running railroad track. The right-hand side of the track is my ball and target. The left-hand side of the track is my body. And I try to get people to always try to pick something out from, if they're aiming at the target, try to pick a tree, edge of a bunker, edge of a green, about 5 yards left of their target for an iron, about 8 to 10 yards left of target for a wood. And then finally, rhythm and balance are the most important thing in golf. If you have great rhythm and balance, you swing the club good. I always try to get people to swing within themselves in terms of being able to swing the club at a pace that when they finish, they're in balance. If they find that pace and they can finish in balance, I can teach them anything. I can get them to hit the golf ball as well as they can. It's much better to have the ball higher than it is lower. For this one, we've got the tee, a much longer tee. As you can see that the ball is almost all the way above the club face. This is okay because most people, when they swing the driver, are going to swing in an upswing, which is going to allow you to come up, hit the ball a little bit more on top of the club face, which is fine. Here we have a ball that is much lower to the ground. As we can see, the ball is totally below the club face. In this, the ball is going to come up. We're going to hit the ball more on the bottom of the club face, where as I explained earlier, with the big-headed drivers, they're not going to be able to get the optimal spin. Here you're going to get too much spin. The ball is going to come out a little bit lower and come down. You're not going to get the distance. In the middle, we have the optimal tee, and here we have the ball halfway up. The ball is going to come out. We're going to be able to hit the ball more consistently on top of the club face, which is going to give us less spin, higher ball flight, and hit the ball farther. The reason that the ball, half the ball above the driver increases your less spin and creates the launch angle is because the 460cc drivers, or the bigger drivers that we have today, are built that way. The higher you hit the ball on the club face, the less spin you have, the higher you hit the ball, the farther you hit the ball. Even though you can also even get the tee, even a little bit higher, because anytime you can hit the ball on the top of the club face with these bigger drivers, the less spin you have, the farther you hit it. The optimal tee can also be used in competitive competition because it does conform to the USGA. So the person that you're teaching or that you're assisting in any way that you're doing it with their golf game, you can tell them they can use this tee, they can take it from the driving range to the golf course, and as they do that, they're going to be able to get the more consistent hit from the driver that they need to have. The optimal tee would be to have the ability to be able to get any type of golfer, from your scratch golfer all the way to the beginning golfer, and it'll especially help those people who have a hard time dealing with feeling and having it, just getting a feel for where that half a ball or a ball above. Anybody that has the ability to be able to play the game of golf will benefit from the optimal tee. Wow, that was really good.